Hello, this is the Indesit Series 2000 fridge. We're going to replace the two door seals, which are the rubbers on the door. You don't need any special tools. I do it with a Phillips screwdriver and a flat screwdriver with quite a wide front. If you lift the seal away, you'll see there's screws behind the seal. Now these screws hold the plastic panel onto the metal and the seal is clamped in between. So what we do is we just loosen the screws all the way around, about 2 revolutions each. I'll just pull the seal away. And we just go all the way around until we get back to where we started. And this is the last screw. Now we've loosened all the screws all the way around, and we just pull the seal out behind the panel. And we get the new seals made up like this. This is the new door seal. And all we do is we wedge the screwdriver with a wide point in between the panel, just to move it away, and we start normally on a corner, just putting the seal in, stick it in behind the two panels. And we just go all the way around to the point where we started. Now I normally start on top, it makes it a bit easier. If you start on the bottom, the seal hangs down, so I'll just normally start on the top, do the two sides and finish off with the bottom. The top is done. Now here you can see the gap there. If you have a good look at the door seal, this little piece is the piece that we stick in between the panel and the door. Now if you have a good look, there's a little bulge there, and it lines up exactly with this bulge here. So when we put the door seal in, we slide it in, and if you slide it in all the way, the two bulges line up. So eventually if we tighten the screws again, it will clamp it and that bulge will hold it in position. So, but we just carry on all the way around. Okay. Now that we've gone all the way around, and the seal is in its place, a common mistake that people do is take a screwdriver and just tightening the screws. But what often happens is, because this panel has been carrying a lot of weight for many years, it builds up a certain amount of tension in the plastic panel, and the minute we loosen the screws, it relaxes that tension. And when you tighten the screws, you find that sometimes your door doesn't line up properly, it bends because of the tension. So if there was tension in the door, we've got to put that tension back again. Now how I do it, I will tighten only one side, which is the hinge side. I tighten the screws on the hinge side, making sure that my corners is nice and square. So when we close it, it doesn't fold over, and we got 3 loose sides which we can flex to the point where you're putting the tension back. So a good way to start is on the corners, make sure they're nice and square, and you've got to tighten the screw pretty tight. Okay, now we've got this side tight. Now we're going to close the door, but if you want to come and have a look on this side, when we close the door, we don't want the seal to fold. This one doesn't fold, so it seems to seal quite nicely. There's a little bit of a fold happening on the top there. So we can just take our screwdriver and make sure we don't fold the seal too badly. When it's new, it's nice and soft. Okay, now we have a look on the other side. Okay, now you'll see this, the door is not sealing properly, but we're not interested in that now. We want the gap between this door and the fridge to be exactly the same on the top and the bottom. Now if you have a look, it looks like this gap is bigger than this gap. You know, if we measure it and we measure there, it's a slightly bigger gap, and that is what I talked about, the tension in the plastic panel. Now all we do is we just flex the tension back until the distances are the same. Okay, this was quite an easy fix. All I did was I twisted the door and I tightened the two top corner and the two bottom screws, and it seems to line up pretty well. Often you have to, while putting the twist in, tighten the screws at the same time, but this is nice. So I've tightened these, so all we do is we tighten the in-between ones, and then I'll show you how to fix that bit so it doesn't twist the seal. Two top corner screws we've done already, so we just carry on here. Make sure you tighten these screws pretty tight. You don't want them to slip. Just tightened all the screws all the way around, so we close the door. And with the screwdriver, we make sure that the top corner doesn't bend, so it all fits nicely in. And then what I use is a heat gun. This is actually used for paint stripping. You just apply a lot of heat onto the seal, but you got to be careful not to burn the rubber. But what works very well is if you pour boiling water from a kettle onto the seal, it has the same effect. What it does is the heat softens the rubber, and once the rubber is soft, it takes up the shape of the fridge, and then as it cools down, it actually becomes a little harder than before, and that will stop that bend from forming. So you don't actually need heat here because this seal is so nice. And what we do is this corner here, where the problem was, we just heat it up. Now with the heat gun, you keep moving it around. You don't want to heat in one place because it will burn holes into the rubber. And wherever there's gaps in the seal and you're not happy with, just apply the heat and give it time to cool down before you open it up. But I think the heat I've applied now should be sufficient. I'll leave it for 20 minutes before I open it, and then while I do that, I'll change the door seal in the bottom. Bottom door seal, same procedure. Loosen the screws, pull it off, put the seal in, tighten the one side, check, twist, tighten the rest.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos, subscribe to our channel.